I guess I have a new hurricane lamp or something. It's showing up as new. Maybe I left my inventory temporarily or something. Oh, that is new. Trapped in the madness. Is the death of Colden a hallucination? Or is it the sole flash of truth in the slow descent into madness that Edward's mind is undergoing? The detective gained entry to the Riverside Institute in order to help the doctor. Immediately attacked by the Shambler, he fled through a transmuted hospital whose architecture respected no physical laws. His wanderings led him to an operating room where his confrontation with Fuller came to an end when Colden's corpse rose up to attack Pierce. The detective thinks he's got a grip on himself, but he now knows that death and madness lie in his path. His sanity was severely affected by this new ordeal. Oh yeah, it's down there. We're embracing the madness ending. I don't know how many endings there are, but one of them's got to be the one where you go crazy. But I get to have like little eldritch dialogue moments. That's gonna be fun. That'll be neato. Yeah, in that last segment, I feel like it almost would have been better if they just skipped the entire weird fog door 2 lanterns puzzle thing. I don't know. I didn't think it was particularly satisfying to solve, and the mechanics were really naked about how it was working, so it wasn't very effective. But the rapid fire trip out stuff that happened afterwards was much more amusing to go through. So for pacing's sake, it'd almost be better just to not have the puzzle part happen. It didn't really lead to anything or affect the story. It was exactly as fuller as I was suggesting it might be, which is funny because I'm looking for. I just called.
Better off finding a tool.
I just accidentally called it Fuller instead of Filler because the guy's name is Fuller. Whoops. All right, gotta find a tool. I have a lantern still. I'm gonna use the one that doesn't use resources. Should be easy enough to find a tool around here. There's a furnace and everything. They're not even banging on the door, by the way. Like, they don't... Wait, they never banged on the door. We just closed the door and then they disappeared. And the chase ended with her closing the door and apparently barring it when I wasn't looking. And I don't think there was even bangs. And the guys aren't trying to get in. They're just not very dedicated to his... Oh, there's one.
Perfect.
I guess they're just not very dedicated to their job. Wait, what? How do you think valves work?
All right.
Did you just stab it?
That should do it. Let's move.
Wait, he did. Oh.
Where the hell do you think you're going, woman?
I'm your puppet no more, you bastard!
You're my wife. My wife. You owe me obedience.
Leave her alone! We're leaving this crazy island.
You are going nowhere. Don't get between me and my wife.
Edward!
Nobody tells me what to do with my wife. How dare you?
What happened to our gun?
No! Why should I let you take her away when I could snap your neck?
The previous scene established that we had a gun. When did I miss that we lost it or something? You can become an occultist expert, that's fun.
All we did for her safety was throwing her in this rat hole.
I hid her well enough.
You let Fuller play with her.
Stop. I did everything I could to protect her, but her identity, her power, is what threatens her.
What?
Sarah has seen things, has made things you can't even begin to imagine. Would you still save her if I told you that she is even more dangerous than I am?
It was her magic. The bookstore.
How do you know that? It does not matter. Sarah has been in the presence of the myth for too long. Even if she were to leave Darkwater, she would still hear his call. And the cult will always be here, waiting for her.
Then we get rid of its members.
You are out of your league, detective. They control the whole island. She will finally surrender to his power, and the world will fall with her.
Don't!
No one can escape the wheel of destiny, they say. But I will change it. I will save Sarah.
Where did you get an axe? I just searched the room for tools 1 minute ago. There was not an axe in here. I was not prepared for him to... I was like, oh cool, he's got a little fire poker. He's got leverage to turn that crank. And he just stabbed it. He stabbed the furnace or the boiler and it started leaking everywhere. I'm like, wait, that's... You can physically pierce a boiler with a fire poker? I don't know if that's... If I buy that. He just went for it. I'm like, oh, that's not... what I thought you were going to do with that at all. And then he just... what weapons are available? Like, he had a gun, I thought. But then he didn't have a gun. Then he had an axe that wasn't in the room either. I don't know. Alright, well, the big surprise is Lovecraft monster thing. From the intro and everything. Surprisingly, not that, not that indestructible. Turns out he's just a dude that has some creepy octopus bits everywhere, but you could still just kill him through completely normal means. Although he did survive the neck impalement for a long time, but he seems to be dead now, I think. Chapter 9, Hawkins' Mansion. After the death of Colton, Pierce, victim of hallucinations, advanced inside the Riverside Institute to the point of discovering Sarah Hawkins, alive, prisoner of Dr. Fuller. The last confrontation between Charles Hawkins and his wife has revealed that the man, under his monstrous appearance, tried to protect her from the influence of the myth. He warned Pierce, if Sarah succumbs to the lure of the occult, he will lose all free will, allowing the cult to bring its plan to fruition, summon an ancient and evil god. Henceforth, Pierce must know more about Sarah Hawkins' intentions and find a way to protect her. So we need to keep Sarah away from the occult, but I'm already going into the occult, so that's going to be kind of hard. Gotta say, I've never in a video game had a... I don't think I've ever been strangled slowly for over the course of 5 minutes while having a full, like, BioWare-style dialogue wheel conversation. That was a new one. Bit odd.
No parent should have to bury their child, knowing it's me that put him there. The guilt will never go away.
I feel your pain.
I'll do anything to get him back. Anything. My work was what lured me here in the first place. It began showing me things I never should have painted. Things Charles should never have seen.
What am I to you? I took care of you, saved you from your miserable life. You'll never find a man better than me. You owe me.
I owe you nothing. We'll leave now.
You're not going anywhere. You are mine!
Simon.
Come on. It's over now.
Leviathan's big. Or that was a macro camera. I don't know what to feel about that flashback. I don't know, I feel like the fire might have been best left off camera as an implied tragedy, because when you see it, when you don't see it and it's like, oh, there was a fire and the child died and maybe they all died. Nope, those two were alive. Plot twist, plot twist. Like, at least when you don't see the logistics of the fire in the most explicit terms, you can maybe not be sure how it happened, so you don't question it as much. But seeing the fire really explicitly, I definitely am like, wait a minute. I don't know about the logistics of this. Although the kid didn't die on camera, so he might also be alive. There might be a third plot twist where there's an individual plot twist for each of the 3 family members indicating that they didn't die in the fire. So maybe the kid's still alive for all I know. But that guy was so monstrously strong that just shoving people away one by one must have instantly knocked all of them out, I guess. And I guess that their mansion was made of tissue paper, because a guy was on fire in the room and then ran out of the room while on fire, and then somehow the entire room lit up, like boom, just like that, while both of them, just from being shoved, were completely unconscious to the point where they didn't even wake up when the fire was coming. And I'm like, I don't know if that reenactment added much to the story. Like, having it be off camera, I was like, I can just kind of buy it because I don't see the details of it. And I'm like, I don't know, sure, maybe there was a fire, someone died. But seeing it in great detail on camera, I start to be like, wait a minute, this doesn't, I don't think the sequence works. I don't think the sequence quite works as much as it's supposed to, because I don't think I buy it. I'm like, it's their death seems really contrived, I guess. Oh, we're way down there. It's going so fast that I'm genuinely wondering what happens if it reaches 0. Does the game even continue? Because it's just going to be 0 for a while, I think. I mean, I don't know how close we're to being done, I guess. Maybe I am closer to the ending than I think I am. Charles Hawkins. Pierce and Sarah Hawkins confronted the monster that Charles Hawkins had turned into. The man retained nothing human. Tentacles replaced one of his arms. Nothing human? Not his very human face, aside from that part of his eye? Nothing human. He's completely humanoid in shape, except for his tentacle arm. His face bore the signs of an unfinished mutation, and he was endowed with superhuman strength. He was on the point of strangling Pierce when Sarah Hawkins drove a poker through his throat. Pierce finished him off with an axe, which they for some reason have in the room full of coal. Why didn't we find a shovel? Can I just point, why didn't we find a shovel for shoveling the coal? We found an axe and a fire poker. I'm like, huh? I mean, the fire poker, yeah. This fight to the death left Pierce physically and mentally scarred. Or we were physically scarred? Oh, I have the poker. He kept it. Handy. I will point out the gun was never in my inventory, but the poker is in my inventory. I don't know. The existence of the gun was confusing. I was going to commend him on, like, because I was like, Pierce, come on, go on these missions prepared, have a weapon, damn it. And then he had a gun, and I was like, oh, he's got a gun. And then after that scene, the gun never shows up again. I'm like, what? And it was never in my inventory. Which it should be, because this is not an inventory I control myself. It's just an inventory of items that come up in the story, basically. Well, that's not true. These are light sources that I manually control. I keep waking up here, huh? Who are you talking to? Which character is that? Oh,
Mr.
right.
Pierce.
Algernon.
We were waiting for you.
Good. Sarah doesn't have much time.
What are you doing here?
Did you think I would let you confront the occult without supervision?
This is too dangerous for a bookworm like you.
Algernon, I need to talk to Mr. Pierce.
Very well, Sarah. I will be in Charles Hawkins' office.
You seem different.
Yes. When I woke up this morning, my mind was sharper. Cleaner. I can still hear the voice calling me. It is so strong. So ancient. Enticing. Dangerous. I may never be able to escape his grip, but for now I can keep it at bay. I know what I owe you, Mr. Pierce. But I can't come back to Boston with you.
I saw everything. The tunnels under your house, the rituals, the secret society. I must get you out of its reach.
I know how dangerous they can be to me. But first, there's the Wanderer. I must find it and kill it. I am the only one who can end its slaughter.
No. No, you will come with me to Boston.
I owe you no obedience.
This isn't about what you want or don't want to do. You would risk destroying the world just because you can't face the consequences of your actions.
I am willing to atone for my sins.
No, you're just trying to erase all proof of the mistakes you've made.
I know what I have done. I will not rest until the creature is sent back to its dimension.
You can't give up, even knowing the stakes.
Yes, thank you.
Still, I won't let you go.
What?
You will stay here until I find a safe way to return to Boston.
That's ridiculous. Listen, Algernon knows of a way to protect me. Help him find what he seeks, and we may all survive this battle.
All right, I'll help you.
I don't think I fully understand what the symbol choices mean. It said that I would gain a new insight or something if I did it, or I kind of thought that maybe it exerts a power, like maybe I force them to do what I want them to do via like mind control when those moments happen, but I can't compel them because she just flatly denied what I said. I'm not sure what was changed by me picking that choice. This will affect your destiny. You took one sip of a drink. Literally one sip. He leaves the rest of the entire glass behind. Can I drink more? Yeah. Oh yeah. Affect my destiny. Get in there. Can I drink the whole thing eventually? I don't think it's changing, is it? It's not changing height, is it? Whoa. Whoa! It actually does. Oh no, you can drink the whole thing. Okay, I've made a good choice. Oh boy. I learned a thing. Charles Hawkins tried, one last time, to challenge the wishes of Sarah Hawkins, and he is dead. This time there is no coming back. Although I condemn the actions of this man, in a certain way I understand his motives. Don't say that about the guy who abused his wife and got his family killed. No. His abandonment of the cult allowed us to flee the Riverside Institute and to learn more about the threat that was weighing upon the mind of Sarah Hawkins. Yeah, don't talk to the abuser guy. Talk about the abuser guy being like, I understand his motivations. I'm like, no. Hello, this is exactly what alcohol looks like when you drink it. Oh, it's over? That was a strong effect that went by very fast. Well, I've already burned off that alcohol with my healing factor. Also, sorry, Miss Hawkins, Mrs. Hawkins. Well, you're a widow now. Does it make you Miss Hawkins again, or Miss? I don't remember. Sorry for using your house as a base against your guys' will. We just kind of moved in, and we've been using it for all of our various NPCs to talk to each other, even though we never asked permission. And I could presumably rent an apartment or rent a room somewhere in town. I just decided to squat in your mansion. I mean, we thought you were dead. Admittedly, as a groundskeeper.
Seeing you again. Ah, it's you. I'm here for her, not you.
I don't care why you're here. Your usefulness is the only thing that matters. How do we protect Mrs. Hawkins from the influence of the forces that claim her?
By following Charles Hawkins. That imbecile of a thief, of course.
What do you mean?
He found something. An amulet. The symbol engraved on it could protect Sarah.
Could?
We are dealing with forces that by far surpass what your intellect can process. Feel free to ask me any question regarding the matters that exceed your grasp.
What is the true nature of the Necronomicon?
I see that you are interested in my precious book. It is the definitive book of knowledge of the occult, Mr. Pierce, written by Abdul al-Hazred. It is the answer to many a question.
That is why it's so highly valued.
Yes, and even though it is a copy, given to me as a gift by Professor Armitage of Miskatonic University, the work remains very powerful.
I understand better why you keep it in a safe.
I'm sorry. A bloody book bound in human skin is not the original one? Somebody made a copy and was like, well, I'm gonna have to get some human skin again, otherwise it's not legit. And like I thought the whole point of a copy would be to have like a just document, like just have the ability to document the text within it. But they then bound the copy in human skin too. What the hell? This guy should probably be fired from his university position.
This creature, the Shambler, what is it?
It is a hunter. It travels from one dimension to another to hunt down its prey.
Francis Sanders was one of its victims. How could a creature like that end up in one of Mrs. Hawkins' paintings?
Sarah has an uncommon gift, a connection with entities that live beyond our reality. I doubt that she was aware at the time, but when she painted the picture in a certain way, she called it.
And now it remains in our reality.
Let us say that it uses the painting as a portal into our reality, and we make enticing prey for it.
That's why we must find a way of sending it back to where it came from permanently. The dagger with the strange sign. Was it you who sold it to Francis Sanders?
If you are referring to the dagger of the ancients, then yes, it was me. Why?
Do you know what he intended to do with it?
Francis was primarily a collector of occult objects. He liked rare items such as the dagger, but I doubt he knew its purpose.
It allowed me to send the creature you call the Shambler back into the painting.
Fascinating. But I am afraid that this might only be short-lived.
You mean that thing could come back?
Yes, that is why I am looking for a more permanent solution.
It must never come back.
Why is he shocked that it can come back? It already has. We just played a whole level of it. The fact that he's talking about like, what do you mean it can come back? But I just played a whole level featuring it, but it was just in the context of the level that I was talking about as feeling like filler, makes me think they might have actually added that level afterwards. Like they might have set up this part of the story and then gone back and added that part retroactively later in the development, because it doesn't have any narrative in it. It's just a weird, like, make these weird glyphs go away, like, puzzle thing that recycles old assets. And the Shambler shows up multiple times during that sequence, but Pierce is now, like, surprised by the idea that it could ever come back after the previous scene that we had with it with the dagger. So, like, all signs actually kind of point to that, where they might have added that weird, not very good puzzle late in development, like in an attempt to make the game longer, maybe?
A genius like you must have already found a way to get rid of this creature, yes?
I sense your sarcasm, but it does happen that, yes, I do have a solution. I think I can destroy it, but for that I must approach the creature, and to be able to do so, I need the key to Rie.
Another one of your baubles.
It is no bauble, unbeliever. It is a very powerful protection, able to repel very ancient forces. Much more effective than your cult.
What does it look like?
It is a golden amulet, bearing very ancient inscriptions and an elder sign at its center. A star with an eye in the middle.
I've already seen that sign. Where can we find it?
Therein lies the problem. That foul thief Charles has hidden it somewhere. I found this drawing among his personal effects. I think that it has something to do with the location of the amulet.
I'll follow this lead. You continue searching.
That is what I intend to do. As for you, return here the second you find it. I don't want it to disappear again.
Sketch of a... Oh, yep, that's just straight up... Wait, well, it's basically a sketch of the dude that just died. So just pretty much could have just said find a bust of that guy. Yeah, alright.